following video is a business analysis of Nintendo as of January 2017 that I've personally prepared. This video will discuss the following: an introduction to the video game market as of 2017, a brief history of Nintendo, the Nintendo business model, the current problems facing Nintendo, the market evaluation of Nintendo Ltd, and a SWOT analysis. Mainstream society as we know it is dominated by digital entertainment, movies, games, on-demand services, the mobile phone revolution, virtual reality. We have it all in 2017. Advances in technology allow for the exponential growth of possibilities in that digital entertainment realm. Things are continually getting faster, smarter, and more exciting too. And video game technology is no exception. But this trend was not always so. The video game industry was born from the trading card frenzy that gripped mainstream Japan in the late 1800s. Aiming to capitalize on the fervor of that medium, Nintendo was founded in 1889 in Kyoto, Japan, for the sole purpose of producing handmade Hanafuda cards. And if you've never seen a Hanafuda card, check this out. They were beautifully hand-drawn art cards in various suits to represent the 12 months of the year. And after dabbling in the trading card market for about 80 years, the company finally turned towards digital media when they introduced the Famicom for Japanese audiences in 1983. It was this system that would define the consumer media market for generations to come. Nintendo essentially created the home console video game business, and it survived and thrived in the nearly 35 years since. Nintendo's fortunes have been closely tied to the popularity of each generation of hardware consoles. What initially had been a smash success, through the years has been a roller coaster of ups and downs for Nintendo, as evident by the massive successes of projects such as Super Mario Bros., the DS and the Wii, standing side by side the failings of the Wii U and Nintendo's mobile gaming services. But through all the turmoil though, Nintendo still sits poised to deliver the world a Nintendo Switch in just a couple of months. In an effort to educate YouTube on the current business state of Nintendo, I present to you the following information on Nintendo Ltd. Nintendo's not your ordinary video game organization. Nintendo develops both hardware platforms and software to support it. In today's market, you either focus on one or the other, generally speaking. Microsoft and Sony make hardware and lean heavily on external studios via collaboration and financial contracts to supply and support them in the development of their first-party titles. Nintendo does both. This is important to note for two reasons. First, Nintendo built its legacy as a combined software and hardware organization. People came to expect a great system and great handcrafted first-party titles to go along with it. When the industry utters the word Nintendo, we tend to visualize this. It's Nintendo's competitive advantage. By providing both, Nintendo has full creative control and is shielded against the crippling pressures of outsider influence, save for its board of directors. Thus, they can put the most tender love and care into their games. The second reason carries the same, if not more, implications for Nintendo. The success of a Nintendo game is jointly linked to the success of the Nintendo hardware platform it is released upon. Nintendo systems and games are joined at the hip. If Nintendo releases a successful console, the potential revenue for any particular first-party title is endless. However, if they release the same title on, let's say, the Wii U, there will be a monetary cap of how well the game will perform simply by existing on a system that has a smaller player base. Now, this is incredibly important as it can be a limiter for the success of the company, both in terms of how many hands get to touch their games and how much cash they can squeeze into their bottom line. It's safe to say Nintendo has a few glaring issues that impact its organization. First, Nintendo has failed to capitalize on its IP. In its nearly 4.5-year run with the Wii U so far, Nintendo has yet to release an original Zelda game. A few remakes and a joint release with Nintendo Switch's The Breath of the Wild is all that fans will get across the world. That is not nearly enough. We also never received a Metroid game on that system, or very much new IP altogether. It's a shame because those games are so good and they will sell. Second, the mobile game market is creating barriers for entry to Nintendo games and systems. Mobile gaming is projected to be a $60 billion industry by 2019, and it is tied to one of the most basic human needs: communication. The mobile install market tops off today at about 3 billion users, while the Wii U and the DS combined only have 1/20th of that number. By having a universally accepted, never-ending platform, the future of mobile gaming seems to have immunity from a catastrophic fate. More critical, however, smartphone games so far have been inherently casual in nature. Nintendo is the king of casual games. Some people can view Nintendo's games as being substitutable for cheaper mobile games, which draws less attention to Nintendo. And those companies willing to jump on that mobile bandwagon have been rewarded in spades. Square Enix, their stock has tripled since it dipped its hands into the golden cauldron of the mobile world, and EA has gone even greater in their success, as evident by their share values increasing 5 times over. Sometime later, when Nintendo announced its deployment of its mobile game services, its stock price rose 29% in 2 trading days to 18,000 yen per share. Sadly, Nintendo never fulfilled its promises in the mobile gaming world until shortly after the tragic death of then-President Satoru Iwata in July of 2015. Even still, they have a long way to go if they want to play catch-up. The third problem Nintendo faces is tied to the previously discussed business model. By developing both handheld gaming devices and home consoles, Nintendo has inadvertently ended up with 2 gaming platforms, the Wii U and the DS, that really don't work together. This is problematic for Nintendo's game developers, as management has to choose which games go where. But this is also a major issue for third-party developers, and in some cases inhibits them from preparing their best games for one platform or the other. The Nintendo Switch serves to bridge this gap by consolidating the 2 platforms into a single system, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. Nintendo's historical stock performance is displayed on your screen right now. In 2006, the Wii launch date was revealed to be November 19th of the same year. A strong launch accompanying continued support for fantastic games paved the way for Nintendo's stock to soar until the end of 2007, as it led the way in sales for the console gaming market. Although in decline, stock price remained high for the company in average over the next few years. However, towards 2011 and beyond, Nintendo suffered as information about the Wii U surfaced. People started to worry about what it was and what audience it was for. The culmination of the decline in Nintendo stock price hit when the Wii U launch date was revealed in September of 2012. Towards the end of 2015, a renewed interest in Nintendo helped propel interest in the company, as information on the Nintendo NX was teased after E3. A SWOT analysis is traditionally used in business cases to help visualize the most important elements of an organization. The strengths of Nintendo are as follows. It's a globally accepted brand. Nintendo is synonymous with gaming. Nintendo has a lot of consumer loyalty. Nintendo has the best-selling AAA IP. They've got multiple revenue streams both in the mobile and console sectors. They've got innovative product offerings, and their recent consoles occupy a very unique niche. Lastly, they've got affordability in their game architecture. With strengths come weaknesses, and they are aplenty. Nintendo has a lack of third-party relationship development for one. They also have low-end technology when compared to other consoles. Nintendo holds a casual image in the market that could be a bad thing. They also have a lack of a centralized gaming avenue, as do all companies who focus on many different things. Their online functionality, it's definitely behind the times. They've also got a high dependency on a few gaming titles and a lack of diversification in its AAA offerings. Now let's talk about the opportunities for Nintendo, because there are a lot. Link the bridge between mobile and casual gaming with the Switch, that's a big one. Online subscriptions, paid DLC, the season pass market, and microtransactions, those streams remain unexplored for the most part. Indie market expansion. And of course, the technological advancements will come at reduced cost to catch up. Now the threats. Mobile games can be substituted for Nintendo's handheld and future console design and its first-party software. The hardcore market demanding state-of-the-art technology, the changing gaming environment resulting from the virtual reality boom, and lastly, YouTube's platform and concessions to automatic copyright claiming reduce awareness for Nintendo's offerings because they quite often just piss a lot of people off. The life cycle of a video game can lead an organization to focus too heavily on the future of its hardware capacity. Consoles that focus on the present, support their hardware, develop the third-party relationships, and at the same time set aside resources for R&D for their new systems are the consoles that will be successful. The future for Nintendo will be decided with its support for its new system, the Nintendo Switch. Finally, I've prepared a simple checklist of my recommendations to Nintendo in light of all of this objective information. Number 1. Explore the possibilities with your existing, successful intellectual property. Number 2. Allow third-party companies the flexibility and support to develop great games for you. Number 3. Develop a robust and fairly priced online platform where competitive play, modding, and community development can coexist. Number 4. Communicate clearly and consistently what the Switch does, how it works, who it's for, and more importantly, how we will be using it. Number 5. Continue the development of AMIIBO-based toy-to-system interfaces to supplement the consoles in the future as an additional revenue source. Number 6. Understand the importance of the system lifecycle and how it is necessary to continually support the Nintendo Switch as new economic phases occur. Number 7. And finally, implement a long-term plan to be a major ball player in the mobile gaming market. As a long-time fan of Nintendo, I truly hope they'll be successful with their future and the Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, by all means hit the thumbs up button for me and subscribe if you want to see, more of these discussion style videos in the future. I gotta pee really bad, so see you later. Have a kick-ass day.